Brand signals. Links Google expects you to have. And some brand signals are not links. We'll get into that, but we'll talk about the brand signals that are links too, because those are very important. As a link builder, you should be very familiar with how brand signals fit into the algorithm. All right, so let me scooch this on over. Let's get into brand signals. All right, what are they, and how do you build them? So those are pretty much the two big questions, right? And what they are, rather, and how you build them. First of all, let me give you some definitions from two people I respect in the industry, Rand Fishkin and Neil Patel. Maybe you heard of those two guys. Well, Rand said back in, I think it was 2011, that Google wanted to separate the brands that produce happy searchers and customers from the generics, sites they've often classified as thin affiliate or poor user experiences. And that's a big reason why I'm including brand signals in this module, because it's all about giving Google the appearance that you are a legitimate site. Even though you may be a legitimate business, Google may not think so if you don't have enough brand signals. So how does Google tell the difference between a thin affiliate site and a good brand? Well, it could be very much by the brand signals, and there's a lot of other things too they can check out, and we've been talking about that, like the internal links. They can check out your site or what directories you have, and also everything else that we're going to go over in this module. So there's lots of different ways, but in this sense, we're talking about, let me get this, brand signals. All right, what does Neil Patel say about it? Well, he says, long story short, brand signals are cues that show that your brand exists, that you're a credible brand, and you're a trustworthy brand. So all through this module, I've been saying Google needs to get some type of idea about what your business is and who you are, and not just what you offer, but really the legitimacy of their business in their eyes. And what I mean by legitimacy is somebody they're willing to send is your site a site that they're willing to send their customers to? And they're really checking you out, and they're checking you out and seeing if you pass the sniff test. And brand signals, if you don't have enough of them, that could be what's hurting your rankings. And there's a lot of evidence that shows that could be the case. All right, now what are some different types of brand signals? And I really don't get into this much of it. It's too much. I get into it in the next part and how to build them. So I got some of this information for this from an article in Neil Patel that he did on brand signals, and he listed some things, and I was kind of surprised at, and I'm including them here not because I've always followed them. It's just I learned something new from Neil, and that's why I like reading and reading books and reading posts and listening to audible books and taking courses. It's just, you learn so much, and if you get a nugget, that nugget can be worth a lot of money to your family. So I'm always looking for nuggets. And here's some of the signals that he was talking about. Get brand. How many times does your business name get searched in a day? Well, that's a brand signal. Do you have employees? That's also a brand signal. Do you have a physical office? Brand signal again. Do you have social media pages? Like, do you have a Facebook page set up? Do you have a Twitter account for your business? Do you have a LinkedIn account? Do you have an Instagram account? All those are, again, brand signals. Do you have an About Us page? And that's something that just makes so total sense. The About Us page. And Neil says, your About Us page better be robust, because guess whose sites aren't robust in the About page section? Yeah, thin affiliate sites. The very sites that Google are really trying their best to keep from sending their customers to. So it's important that you can get to a point where you're realizing what's going on. You have to pass Google's sniff test. And brand signals are a major part of the algorithm. It might be one of their main sniffers. Of course, backlinks are really important, but also brand signals these days too. So let's talk about how to build brand signals. All right. Well, wow, look at all this. All right, first of all, geez. I'm I come from black hat school. When I first got into SEO, I was a white hat maybe a couple months, and then I almost quit in frustration because it was so hard to land links that I just went black hat, and I cheated, and I got very good at it. And so, as a former black hat, I've always used brand anchors as my anchor text because I wanted to kind of cover my tracks of all the hanky-panky I was doing, the hocus pocus with the black hat stuff, that I would do whatever I could to legitimize the link profile on the site I was working on. So I caught onto the habit early on of making most of the links I build to a client site to have it be the name of the company, to be their brand name. And I think that's just a healthy way to go about your link building, is to use your brand name more than any other anchor text. If you buy guest posts, for instance, use your brand name. Get your brand signal up there. You'll still get the link juice. There I go, link juice. I'm former black hat. Black hatters. At first, we'd always call it link juice, but link equity. You'll still get link equity from using your brand name. It won't be the exact anchor text, but you shouldn't do that anyway. Brand. Okay, I understand why you want to use, or why I want to use in the past, and why a lot of people want to use their exact anchor text on their guest posts. I get that because it's a belief that it's going to make your rankings go up faster. But you know what? If you're getting all that anchor text link equity, but you don't have enough brand signals, is that going to set off an alert to Google? I don't know. I have no idea. And I'm not going to be so presumptuous to say that yes, it will. But you know what? I'm going to assume that that's the case. So, yeah. That's just the way I handle that. And you'd be smart to do the same thing. Let's move on. All right. Does your business have employees? Okay. How does Google know if your business has employees? Well, from LinkedIn. Get them on LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn page, get a LinkedIn page set up. Then get your employees to list you as their employer. And guess what? That's a brand signal. And the more you get your brand signal and solidified, the more you can go for some anchor text Hail Marys, where you use your exact anchor text. But if you use your exact anchor text for your main keyword and you see your ranking soar, then all of a sudden it starts dipping of 1 page, and 2, then 3. Then what happened is you probably outkicked your coverage, and people that like American football understand what that means if you're a football fan. I just think that you can get really offensive with the plays you're running, and your line just isn't strong enough to block long enough to keep the quarterback from getting sacked. There's another American football reference. I think that the point that I'm trying to make is you can get aggressive with your anchor text, but only if you have strong brand signals. You'd be better off building your brand up and using 80% of your links using your brand name or your client's brand name, just until you have enough signals up, and getting some guest posts using your anchor text, and getting like a really nice link on an authority site, and then use the anchor text of your brand. That way you get the link equity from the site, you get credit for the link, and you're not going to get any type of penalty on your brand, and also you're going to maybe have a good opportunity to get some traffic from it. Who knows? But all right, so, and then your brand just keeps getting stronger and stronger. So think about your brand as just like building up the base to your system, and what you're going to need a lot less links to build. Have to build a lot less links when you get your brand signal strong. All right, so if you have a physical office, make sure that Google knows it. You get your Google, and you can look at your last video, a couple videos ago, on how to do your Google My Business listing. Make sure that your footer is in the address of your website, on your website, and on your contact page. And make sure it's the same exact Name, address, phone number, as in your Google My Business listing. All right, that's pretty important. Pardon me. All right, let's move on. Set up a Facebook page. You can do that. That's easy. I'll come back down here. Set up a Facebook page. I might have to start, instead of mind maps, start doing PowerPoint presentations so I could pop them all up one at a time, or learn to use another mind map so you don't have to see everything on the page at once and read it ahead of time and be 10 minutes ahead of me. But set up a Facebook page, create a Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram accounts for your business, include a link to your sites on your profile. I bet you've already done that. Those are brand signals. Because remember, this whole module is kind of like all dedicated to brand signals. What are signals that give Google, the idea that you're somebody that they can trust with their customers? And what are some of the ones where they just don't trust you? I bet you have, in the majority of sites, this is true. The biggest problem isn't the fact that they have things that smell bad to Google. It's the fact that they have no scent at all to Google. And if they'd taken their time to do some of the things on this list, they'd be in a much better position where Google could then, get a good sniff on them, if that makes sense. All right. What else can you do? Sign up for relevant review sites for your industry to give your customers an opportunity to leave you reviews. When they leave you a review, that's brand. That's a brand signal, and that's a good one, especially if it's positive. And it really depends on your niche, but Google My Business is an absolute essential. Yelp, Angie's List, if you're an attorney, Avo, Bing Places for Business are just some of the review sites, and there's a lot of them out there. Make sure you sign up for the legitimate ones. Follow the like how I shared and how to determine whether or not a niche directory site is going to be good for you. The same rule applies to niche review sites for your industry. Just make sure they get traffic, make sure the site's indexed, make sure it doesn't that it gets updated, and make sure that they're not they're not linking out to spammy sites, and make sure it's a review site that's legit, and you can even check their traffic to see if there's traffic. If it is, I recommend you sign up for as many of those as you can that are relevant, not for the link opportunity, but it kind of is a brand signal, even if you're not getting reviews on it. All right, well, okay, because then Google can just cross that off their list. All right, they are on review sites. Okay, now your links start counting a little more. As soon as the more boxes they check off and get an idea about your business, the more your links that you already have in place are going to start counting more, and then your future links are going to count for more. So it's just good things happen when you build up your brand. All right, you should monitor mentions of your brand in real time. It was the greatest way I made money, monitoring my brand, my name. Oh man, I made a lot of money that way. I was really big on the Warrior Forum in the Black Hat days, and I had Google Alerts set up to my name. And whenever somebody started bad-mouthing me on the forum, a competitor, it alerted me. And I could come in right to the thread, wherever it was taking place, and just trump whatever the guy was saying. And how did I trump? Well, because I had more testimonials on my, we call them Warrior Special Offers, WSOs. To my knowledge, I had the most successful. When I left Warrior Forum, I had the most successful WSOs in the history of the Warrior Forum. And that was big money makers. And so I would see my name would get brought up by a competitor who said, "Oh, Matt LeClaire is teaching this," and then I would get that alert, and then I would go over to the forum, and I'd go down, and I'd say, "Well, I see. Understand you don't really believe in what I was saying here, but we can agree to disagree, or we can let the readers judge for themselves." First of all, they can read your testimonials, then they can read mine. Then they could read every other vendor on the Warrior Forum that sells SEO, and there's a lot of us, and combine all their testimonials together, and it won't be as many testimonials as I have, by like a 3-to-1 ratio. So that's fine, and I had them all listed on my thread, every testimonial. And you had to scroll through like just 1,000 of them just to get to even the copy to see what I was selling. But it gave me an opportunity to get in while the conversation was hot and just happening, and I could just, like, all of a sudden I'm in the conversation. It got to be where people quit doing that, and they would just sometimes they'd gang up. There'd be two of them, and but they didn't have the evidence. They didn't have the testimonials. And they didn't have the links to the people who left the testimonials, to the other Warrior Forum names. They didn't have the Warrior Forum members' names on their testimonials. I had all that. So it was just a matter of, hey, check out our testimonials. And when I would make $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 with every one of those conversations. It would be big because the Warrior Forum had a lot of traffic. So mentioning brands could be valuable. Google Alert is one tool you could use. There's a couple others that I Googled. I don't use these, but you might want to. Buzz Bundle sounds cool. And Mention.com. Mention.com gets mentioned quite a bit. So I thought I'd mention them. But monitor your brand. I could give you link opportunities, but really, if somebody mentions your brand name, and it could be a link opportunity for you if they didn't include a link. It's up to you if you want to go after it. I don't get a lot of traction from those types of links. It's kind of pushy. But as link builders, we need to be pushy. But we don't want to be, I don't know, what's the word? We don't want to be crass about it. And so just, I don't know. So really, if you're monitoring, as this is a link building course, so why would you want to monitor your brand as a link builder? Well, so you can get opportunities to ask them to link to you. But if you're a business owner, there's a lot of other reasons, or an agency owner, why you might want to be alerted to what's going on. All right, another thing you could do, and this is one that bugged me for a long time because it was really stupid of me too, and I'm not supposed to say that. My therapist, don't say that. Oh, I'm not supposed to tell you I have a therapist. I don't care. Yes, I go see a cognitive behavior therapist. She's awesome. Her name's Janine, and she helps me really problem solving. I was taking a lot of discs, listening to a lot of lectures on Audible about cognitive behavior therapy, and I just love the process of retraining our brains to just to be more efficient in how we process data. And so I said, oh, I'm gonna go do that. And one of the things that, long story short, I don't know, bunny trails, I'm not supposed to call myself stupid, but it was stupid. How can we get people searching our brand name or our client's brand name more? And wait a minute. What happens when you buy ads? And this is, I figured out a long time ago, but it was it dawned on me when it did, and it was huge. When you buy advertisements, sometimes like AdWords, and by clicks or Facebook ads, sometimes some of the first things a percentage of them will do, of the people who see your ads that are interested, they're going to Google your brand name. And so it's entirely possible to increase the number of people who are looking up your business name just by buying ads. Yeah, so you can totally buy that. And if you're a lot more vague in your ads, and you have just something that's really vague, and it makes them have to search for your name, that's a way that you can get more brand name searches. And that's one of the I said that at the beginning. That's one of the brand signals. Is straight up is how many times do people search your business name on Google? And what bugged me about that is why it took me a while to figure out was I thought that all the other ones, oh yeah, you can do that. You can build links using your brand name as anchor. That's easy. I've been doing that for years and years. But what about all this other stuff? Well, Facebook setting that up is easy. Google My Business is easy. Getting it verified, LinkedIn, all that stuff's easy. But how do I get people searching my brand? And it just, as I was searching through client campaigns and stuff, and when it came to me, I said, wait a minute. All the clients that had no SEO whatsoever, they always had good organic searches for their brand name if they ran ads. And we had the stats, we could see it. And well, back when they used to report what your visitors analytics would report, what keyword people found your site on the search engines, and what keyword they reached your site. And that was great information. It was too great, in fact, and Google took it from us, but it was really cool when they gave it to you. And you could see that brand names were mentioned a lot, and more than any other keyword. And it was because they were buying ads and people were curious and searching. So some say that running AdWords and running Facebook campaigns and other type of traditional advertising even is a brand signal in itself. And I tend to agree with that, because most legitimate businesses, once they have a good funnel and once they know who their target audience is, they buy advertisement. And thin affiliate sites don't. That's just the way it is. They're going to hoping to catch what they catch. And Google doesn't want to send them anything. And if you want Google to send you something, you need to get really good at giving them the right signals. And those right signals are brand signals. Sounds like a cereal. Brand signals. All right. So, I guess that would be brand. All right. That's brand signals. Hope you liked it. I'm going to move on to the next video, and I'm going to catch you there. Bye now.